All right, Salwete. Good to see you again. I'm starting to get a hang of how we can navigate the stream. I have on this screen over here is where I'm actually, checking out how the volume and the stuff looks. And so it's a bit different. Tres servi means, I'm sure you've picked up one, three slaves. And so I'm just going to read it with as much inflection as I can, with the hopes that maybe as you're listening, you can sort of understand what's going on without actually writing a translation. Now, this is a reading and writing heavy class, so yeah, we are going to expect you to write the translations, but it's much easier to write a translation of a passage if you kind of understand what's going on. So let's have at it. Starting at the top, I'm going to read with the italics, and that is the introduction of it. So just under the word Trace Serwi in blue on page 5, you're going to see the title, and it says, Trace Serwi in Villa Labora, haec Villa est in Britannia, servi diligenter laborant, quod dominum expectant, servi vitam duram deplorant. Philus says, Pecuniam numera. Iterum pluit, semper pluit, nos solum nunquam videmus, ego ad Italiam redire volo, ego solum vidire volo. Volubilis, he says, coram in Polinum parad, ubi est vinum, nullum vinum video, quis hausit, ego aquam bibere non possum, aqua est poeda. Bregan says, Parlamentum lava, ego laboro nolo. Sorry, no, ego laborare nolo, Jesus sum, multum vinum bibi, ego dormire volo. Varaca, subite villam intrat, varaca est villicus. Varaca says, Servi, Dominus noster erratus advenit, apud cantiaco servi conjurationem fecerum, Dominus est vulneratus. Nos haec dat conjuratione audire volumus rendera. All right, hopefully you understood that we have three slaves working. Each has a different part of the house in which he is taking care of things. One of them is complaining that it is raining outside because it always rains in England. It's always raining, and that is a true story. And he's mad because they're not back in Rome, and he wants to go back to Italy, and where it's always warm and it rains, but not like it does in Britain. And then there's another one who is complaining because he's in the kitchen and he's trying to prepare a great meal. And unfortunately, there's no wine, and the water is dirty. And so he's very upset who has drunk all the wine. Now, I'm not a history teacher, but from what I understand of the ancient world, many of them would take wine and mix it with water to sanitize it. And there's lots of ways of sanitizing, cleaning, purifying the water to get all of the bacteria out of it before drinking it. And one of the ways was to take fermented wine. And I mean, as you also know, the way some people, would be drinking it. Well, apparently, Breckens, one of the ones, had drank all the wine, and now he's trying to clean the pavement, but he's tired and can't get it done. But immediately hearing about his master having been wounded, and there's a conspiracy against him, and he's hurt. Immediately he comes out of his stupor. He's like, yeah, tell me the story. I want to know what happened. What happened? And so that's what your next assignment is to go to conjuratio, the conspiracy, and find out what had happened. And what I'd like for you to do after you've written your translation for conjuratio, I want you to think of, is it really a conspiracy? Yes or no? And think of it as actually arguing on both sides. Because the way the argument can be displayed can change the story. It's quite fascinating how things work that way. And if law is something of interest to you, you might find that studying the Latin concepts and understanding that there are ways of presenting facts in different ways, just feels redundant. We can present facts in different ways, and that way in which we present it can lead people to believe things a certain way. Um, so yes, there is, according to Salvius, a plot against him. Now, interesting, if it was in fact a plot against him, um, he would not be alive to tell us about the plot. But he is alive to tell us about the plot. However, it is quite possible that the plot against him was intended to be intentionally to do harm, but at the same time to not cause death. And so, who knows? Who knows? If he's correct, do you think he's justified in his retaliation? And then we're going to find out how Brecken's responds to this whole thing. So, anyway, enjoy.